can't be balanced unless you're taught. So you have to start with learning to have a taut body. And there are a number of things you do in practice to help that along. And you mentioned a snorkel. So that's the most important tool, by the way, you want to get. If you don't have one, Trilabs has them on sale here today. So swimming snorkel. Okay, that's what it looks like. Front mounted, right up here. If you can avoid a nose clip, that'd be helpful. But having a snorkel on will keep your head still when you swim, and you can focus on being completely taut on a really, really long body. So tautness is the most important thing in swimming well. It's difficult to achieve because of the massive subsidy in the water, 90% of your body weight, and then because the water is usually not stable. How many of us have done a half Ironman or an Ironman with a 500 to 2,500 person start? You think the water is stable? Then again, so if you don't have real good tautness and you haven't learned how to hold your body well, disadvantage. So that's number one, tautness. Number two, the next most important thing is alignment. And alignment simply means having your head, hips, and feet in a straight line. And it's hard to do. You'll see some people swim, as I was showing earlier, and they get twisted or they get scrunchy, hip to shoulder scrunches. Feet sway out behind, and the body is crooked. Or on the entry, they enter too wide, or they cross over their middle line. Swimming is very simple. It's very linear. If you divided your body into two equal halves, when you're swimming with the right hand, it must do everything on the right side of your center line, over here. On your left hand, everything on the left side of the center line. We're not allowed to cross over. You can, but then things happen. And those things, okay, cause all sorts of other things. There are lots of ripple effects. But if we fix the alignment, all these other little anecdotal things go away. So the key is if we can keep at your entry, somewhere right here, and we can swim underwater, keeping your hand right underneath your right side and your left hand underneath your left side, and you held your body really taut, and you swam a whole lot, you're going to go fast. You're going to go real fast. Yes, Aaron?
Can you be aligned but not taut?
Could you be aligned but not taut? Sure.
Or taut and not aligned?
Yeah. You can be hyperextended, and you can be like a banana, rounded a bit, but still be aligned in the sense that everything's lined up, but your body posture is not well. So I define taut as a straight line. If your spine could come up through your head and it ran straight down your body in a straight line, that would be taut. If you were to be scrunched over or arched, that would be non-taut. So the answer is yes. Yeah.
Okay, I have scoliosis, so I swim harder. But I have a brace, but it's made with a knit with the stays. Would that help me to wear it to swimming? Because then it keeps me straighter through here. I use it sometimes running, so when I get tired, I do this.
I prefer you, do you have a snorkel?
Yeah.
Do you use it?
Yeah.
Is it healthy?
I don't know.
Okay.
My question on that was, but you said don't worry about rotation. I was going to say, because I'm always like this, I don't feel like I'm rotating, because you had said, I learned about that from you years ago when I went to a Long Beach beach. So if I'm like this, and I'm not turning my head, is my body doesn't need to turn? Because you said forget about rotation.
Right. We don't need to turn much. There's a question to do with this. Let's address your specific thing after, since it's not
But you don't need
indigenous
to
many.
rotate then. So being flat like I am
Being
is okay?
reasonably flat, there is some rotation, guys. We do turn, and we're going to turn about 30 degrees, 45 degrees at the most. This massive amount of rotation to 90 degrees that we read about at times, let me tell you what that does. You turn a lot. The moment you turn, the body has instincts. If you're falling over to one side on the ground, what happens to you? If I'm falling to the right, my left leg pops up to counterbalance, and my right hand goes down, right, to brace the fall. When you start rolling in swimming, here's what happens. The head starts doing things to counterweight, the leg goes out to counterbalance, and all these ripple effects of things start happening. Why doesn't that happen with fast swimmers? Well, that's because they're fast. It's because they're all swimming under a minute per 100 or under that 20 minutes for a mile. So We're not there yet, so we don't want to have this massive amount of rotation. Plus, rotating a whole lot from one side to the other side a lot shuts down a key component of swimming fast, something called stroke rate. Your cadence rate.
Don't move. Don't move. Just stay there for 1 minute.
Your cadence rate, which is the number of arm strokes you can accomplish in 1 minute, needs to be fairly elevated to swim fast. Good runners have a strike rate of 180, 190 steps a minute. Really good swimmers have stroke rates of 80 to 90 to 100 strokes a minute. Most triathletes that I coach that range from 20 minutes to 40 minutes have stroke rates of 65, 66 strokes a minute on slower, down to the least I've gotten is 32. You can't swim fast at 60 strokes a minute. It's just not possible. And here's why. If we took, since I've been picking on Holger, we took Holger, and he swam at 60 strokes a minute, and we took Jen, who had the exact same amount of power and the exact same stroke. If we could duplicate Holger, we put Jen and Holger next to each other, same watts of output, everything's the same swim stroke. And one went at 60 strokes a minute and one went at 80 strokes a minute. Who would go faster? The one who's at 80 strokes a minute. The same thing as riding your bike. What's faster, cadence rate of 90 RPMs or cadence rate of 70 RPMs in the same gear on a flat road? 90 RPMs. So big rotation shuts down stroke rate, so we don't want massive rotation. Yes, Tina?
Are you talking about full body rotation versus thoracic rotation? I mean,
Good question. Are we talking about full body rotation versus thoracic rotation? So we're going to have a small rotation of the hips, and we're going to have a little bigger rotation of your shoulders, but it's still not much. It's not a whole lot. Yeah. It's small, guys. Get that breath and you're just right back to your spot.
because if you don't have that, then you kick.
Right. And you guys don't need to kick. The triathletes need to kick just to keep your feet at the surface, and that's it. It's all you need to do, because you have something called if you're doing an Ironman, I think it's last time I read it was a 112-mile bike ride, 26-mile run. Save those legs. I mean, that first hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes, save your legs. You've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 more hours of racing. So let's review. Tautness, alignment, right? Those are the two most important things. Those two. Here are the pieces of equipment that you need for swimming. Most important.
Can I just say really quick before we move to the
Yes.
next thing, just basic. So then when you're practicing in the pool or just in the open water, I know some coaches will tell you to, put your head up a little bit. So are you saying no, straight down, look straight down to keep that tautness?
Broad brush stroke answer, straight down. There are some people who have shorter necks that if they were to hold their heads up, it doesn't affect body position, okay? There are some coaches who published some stuff on the web in the last 6 months about holding heads up, and they use some pieces of equipment to demonstrate it. It's the craziest and most unprofessional demonstration I've ever seen. Totally unscientific. So the answer is keep your head aligned with your spine line. Don't raise it up or don't tuck it down. See, we're standing here, I'm looking straight at you right now, and if I just took that position and went down, that's the position we want. Now in open water, we're also going to lift our heads up for sighting.
Yeah.
Okay? And that puts your balance out just a bit, but you guys have something wonderful. It's called a 5mm wetsuit.
Yeah.
And what does that do? Keeps those legs up pretty nice and high.
Gerry,
Yes?
how well does the ground